In the wake of a takeoff for Uganda to start producing oil and other related chemical weaponry-related products, international pressures have started dawning on Uganda to domesticate the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons Treaty it signed on November 13, 1993.
And ratified it on the 30th of November 2001. Under the Article 7 of the Convention, each state party is required, in accordance with its constitutional process, to adopt necessary measures to implement its obligation under this convention.
The international pressure on Uganda to domesticate the treaty falls on the heels of a binding time frame before the UN Convention convenes in December this 2016 in The Hague.
Mr. Speaker, I pray that this bill is passed as soon as possible. In any case, not later than November, because in December, we are supposed to travel back to The Hague. And one of the questions that we shall answer is whether this bill has been domesticated or not.
For Uganda to domesticate the treaty, who are the key players?
And this bill proposes the following institutions to be part of the national authority. One is the Ministry of Defense for its role in weapons. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Internal Affairs, and in particular, the Analytical Laboratory under the Uganda Police Force.
This demonstrates highly your country's commitment and interest toward the implementation of the Chemical Weapons Convention. The full and effective implementation of the CWC is an essential requirement for the national and international security.
The Deputy Speaker of the Ugandan Parliament, Jacob Olanya, told the visiting delegation from the Organization of Prohibition of Chemical Weapons that the Uganda Parliament will have to take into consideration several international treaties that Uganda has signed, binding it to domesticate the treaty in question.
In Uganda, we adopt a dual system of ratification of treaties. Under our treaties ratification law, we have two processes or two options. If a particular treaty does not affect the Constitution, that treaty can be ratified and deposited by Cabinet.
In spite of the international pressures dawning on Uganda to have the treaty domesticated, the chairperson of the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons Uganda chapter, Pius Bigirimana, was quick to note that Uganda is a non-possessor of chemical weapons, but falls a victim of circumstance due to the underlying engagements it's undertaking with oil exploration companies in the Albertine Graben area.
Mr. Speaker, if you look at even the refinery that Uganda is trying to put in place, we are obliged as a country to make sure that the chemicals that are being brought in the country are in the right quantities, are the right ones, so that these chemicals do not land in the hands of terrorists.
Uganda apparently is in advanced stages with a Chinese company to construct an oil refinery that will produce refined oil and other chemical weaponry products. Timothy Spasi, Just Television, Kampala.